Hey, Ronnie.
Hey, Luke.
On today's episode, this is going to be fun. No more puff puff pass for some illegal pot growers.
And in Corvette Ronnie's crime beat,
Yeah?
it's Pizza Face. Literally. That's coming up next. Men are so smart.
Well, today, pretty close to home, this story.
Oh, right here.
U.S. law enforcement agencies seized over 100 homes in Sacramento, California this week in what the U.S. Justice Department on Wednesday said was part of a sweeping crackdown on a criminal marijuana growing operation funded by a China-based criminal group.
Yeah, in a 2-day sweep that started on Tuesday, the Justice Department said hundreds of federal agents and local police executed search warrants at about 74 homes and 2 businesses believed to be used for marijuana growing operations.
At the same time, the Justice Department filed civil forfeiture actions against 100 homes, a legal action allowing the government to confiscate assets if there is probable cause to believe a crime was committed.
A policy change came shortly after California formally launched the world's largest regulated market for recreational pot. The operation announced on Wednesday, however, relates to the underground illegal marijuana growing operations and not those following California's stringent regulatory and licensing regime.
Federal law enforcement officials said in a statement that the criminal organization targeted through the home seizures used foreign funds to purchase the homes in order to use them for growing pot.
Down payments on the properties were financed by wire transfers from the province of Fujian, China, and that the pot was grown in the homes and then later distributed outside California to other parts of the United States.
The Justice Department said the operation represented one of the largest ever residential forfeiture efforts in U.S. criminal history. Ronnie, that's cool.
Yeah.
Sacramento, number 1. Wait a minute.
We're on the map. Yeah.
That's not a good thing.
Yeah, well, in addition to seizing the homes, the government also seized over 61,000 marijuana plants, more than 440 pounds of processed marijuana, and 15 firearms. That's a pretty good couple days worth of work right there.
Yeah, how long do you think this was going underway?
They've probably been investigating this for maybe a year.
Think so?
Yeah, these big, large-scale operations definitely don't happen overnight.
Now, do you think there's some undercover work that goes on in this?
I'm sure there's a little bit, but most of this was probably done via computer by them tracing the funds back, and
that makes sense.
It's hard to transfer funds anymore without the government knowing about it.
Yeah, and it seems to me that more and more of these pot growers are just laundering this money. They can't take it to the bank.
No. And when I was in patrol, I actually seized a couple vehicles that were the fruits of the crime of drug sales.
Like supercars?
No. One of them, though, was very unusual. It was like one of the old Chevy Blazers, but it had, I forget what they called it. It was made by GMC, and it was a turbocharged engine. It was mid-'80s. Cyclone. I think it was a GMC Cyclone.
Never heard of it.
Like I said, very much like one of the small little Blazers that they used to use, but this one had it had bulletproof tires. It had bulletproof glass on the sides, which was probably 1.5 inches thick. The doors, and it had Kevlar on the doors. The doors probably weighed 300 pounds.
Oh my gosh!
They were so heavy. And then I think they did also seize pretty sure it was an older Corvette that they seized. But yeah, so that was considered a good day back then.
All right, that wraps up 420 News. And guess what? It's time for everybody's favorite segment, Corvette Ronnie's Crime Beat. Roll it.
Ohio has been charged with domestic violence after allegedly attacking a woman with pizza.
How do you do that?
Well, it wasn't easy.
Sharp cheese?
Yeah, apparently. Kenneth Evans, 24, was arrested just before midnight Tuesday after police were called to a home just southeast of Cleveland in reference to domestic violence. When officers arrived at the home, they observed tires in the street and could hear yelling from inside the residence.
Sounds like the Gallagher compound on any night.
They could also see the alleged victim looking out from an upstairs window.
No one answered when one of the officers knocked on the door, but they could still hear yelling. One of the officers then attempted to open the door, but Evans allegedly slammed it shut. He then announced that he was a police officer and pushed the door open. Once inside, the officer saw Evans, who was, well, let's just say slightly inebriated.
Yeah, sloshed.
That's what the report says.
Although he was screaming and belligerent, he immediately complied with officers' commands.
Good idea.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah, that'll save your life.
After one pointed what they call a stun gun, but it's a taser.
Okay.
Pointed a taser at him and ordered him to sit on the floor. However, Evans was still screaming.
The alleged victim told the responding officers that the incident began inside the car as she was driving him home. She and Evans were screaming at her, and she said Evans was screaming at her and repeatedly pushed her head while she was driving.
That's not very safe. No.
No.
At one point, Evans hit the woman in the face with pizza.
Whammo!
Dang. You just bought that pizza,
I wonder
too.
what kind of pizza.
Later, he punched the dashboard and then kicked the door when exiting the car.
Police said the woman suffered an apparent minor injury. I think it was a pepperoni burn. But you can't quote me on that. Later, he tried to fight the neighbor, threw tires into the roadway, and smashed a mailbox. Inside, he flipped the couch and continued screaming and throwing things.
Where did these tires come from?
Where did the couch come from? Yeah. Where did the coach come from, for that matter? I didn't even know there was a coach in this story.
He came in apparently a little earlier.
I guess so.
Evans denied touching the victim, saying that the two were arguing, and he admitted flipping the couch.
Did he flip the coach too?
Nothing about the coach.
Well, we should read on. He was highly intoxicated and his mood was rapidly shifting. The house was completely trashed with the couch upside down against the wall. Be different if it was the coach. A little different.
Evans was then taken into custody.
Really?
And continued his belligerent behavior and wild mood swings, all while being booked at the police department, according to the report. Evans was released on Thursday afternoon. He's charged with assault and criminal damage or endangering.
Endangering a coach.
Yeah. It's unclear what Evans' relationship with the victim is.
Oh, you think
They might be a little bit on the outs right now.
She'd
probably be okay with the rest of it, but when he ruined the pizza...
Yeah, that you got to draw the line there.
Yeah, that's pretty black and white right there.
I think it is. It's almost...
That's
sacrilegious.
It's definitely pizza abuse.
I wonder what kind of injury she got. Was it a burn, you think?
Probably a burn. Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably a burn. And
maybe a little bell pepper scar, mushroom eye.
Hopefully no anchovies.
Pie face.
Yeah.
Sorry, lady. Don't mean to make fun of your problem here.
Yeah.
All right. That'll do it. Roll it. Corvette Ronnie's Crime Beat. Corvette Benny.
And the Jets.
All right, thanks for watching another episode of Men Are So Smart. If you'd like any more information or any links to stuff that you can get a hold of us with, you'll find them below. I just ended my sentence with a preposition. Didn't we just cover that? However, okay, so you'll find that below, including our website, which is menarесosmart.com. Our social media, Facebook, Twitter, what else am I forgetting?
Blogs.
Oh, yeah, our blogs are there too. And, of course, you'll find links to all of our sponsors and their specials that are going on. That'll do it. I'm Lou Gallagher.
I'm Corvette Ronnie.
This has been Men Are So Smart. We'll see you on the next one.